Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm with Mr.Scented. This is basically our channel now, and so many of you guys have been asking to see his recommendations for men. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna take the back seat and Mr.Scented is gonna go for it and take over. If you guys are new here, my name is Yana. This is the Scented. This is Mr.Scented.
I think it's finally time for me to share with you guys out of my whole collection, which roughly my top 10 are. Some of them are old, most of them are mostly old, some of them are a little bit more new, but these are pretty much what I think out of everything that I own that are kind of the top 10.
Did you say some of them are old, some of them are mostly old?
Yes.
Okay. If you guys hear little claw sounds or the like, that is because we have two dogs. In fact, they're large and
one
helping
of them is
us.
right here.
Yeah. There's gonna be noise. You guys asked for. You asked for men's recommendations. You asked for the dogs to be back. We're doing all the things you asked for.
First up, and probably as of no surprise to anyone, Tom Ford's Oud Wood. This one pretty much from the very beginning that I smelled it was just like a complete banger. It's good in every single way and it's bad in none. Even as a beginner, when you first smell this, there is a little bit of a, like, it might be a bit too intense, but there was always something so intriguing about it. It's just a perfect combination of like a really old, like as a man, realistically, you're always really into like a very rustic, old, vintage, like wood kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. And it gives you that, like the way that it smells really gives you that image of kind of what I'm talking about.
It's rugged. It's a dry, woody scent. This is what I like about it. It's not a barnyardy, stinky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very dry, like even airy almost, but I guess dry would be the better word of it. And it's just like the blend on it, I think, is like absolutely amazing. Like ouds are very tricky like that, where it could go into like different directions, which might be not so great. Like you can get the stinky ones, you can get whatever, but this is just, I mean, I think it should be regarded as like oud perfection, really, no?
It's the superior oud. It is a very safe oud for beginners and even people that are like more advanced in their fragrance journey. I know people, like even women that are just like still very entry level fragrance that love this. They get it for their man. They don't care that it's so expensive.
It has to be there. Like it needs to be in my collection and like a life keeper. Up next is one that's a little bit different. A lot of you are probably going to be familiar with La Nuit de l'Homme, right? Now, initially, we had smelled just a normal L'Homme, which is also very good. I eventually kind of tended to gravitate more towards this because it just was like a little bit more different and a little bit more like sexy in a way. Just, it intrigued me a little bit more than just a normal L'Homme. But this one, if you want to get your significant other, whoever they may be, something that's like a very easy reach, you can wear it all the time, in the summer, in the winter, in the fall, in the spring, doesn't matter. Something that could be like a staple in your collection, definitely get them that. I think it's cheap enough. It'll work for pretty much just anybody. And it's just such a good, like, dumb, easy reach. Okay, next one is going to be one of the newer ones. And this one I wasn't sure about at the very beginning, I'll be honest. But it's one of those that, like, caught my eye so much. And it, like, did one of these. Like it became, and you kept commenting about how I was wearing it very often. I was wearing it to work, which it might seem a little bit intense, but if you do it just right, it has a great effect. I'm talking about Click Song.
Click Song from Une Nuit Nomade. Probably our favorite, like, newer niche brand. They deserve all the hype. They have such good fragrances, all of them.
Yes, and there are a lot from the Sun Kissed, and like there's probably 5 other ones. So this one is an example of one that is very kind of intense at the beginning, but it develops extremely different. So basically you have to kind of wait for that first spray to die down, and then it leaves such a beautiful kind of, it's another combination of that antique-y, woody, like open like treasure chest kind of thing. It's almost like stinky at the beginning. It's so weird to say that, but it's like,
I know.
It's so good after. I don't even know what's in it, honestly.
It almost has like a little bit of like a touch of animalic in the beginning, but not really.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's antique-y, very ambery, kind of patchouli intense scent, but a beautiful patchouli. It's not a dirty, earthy patchouli. It's almost a little bit medicinal. It's like camphorous type of scent.
Yeah, not safe for beginners like at all. So do not try this one if you're trying to like experiment with safe things. I don't know. It is so hard to describe. Probably out of all of these, this is the most one that I'm just very hard at describing.
And I think it's because it's an amber dominant scent, which amber is like a fantasy note. You know, each perfumer perceives it in their own way and creates it in their own way. But the essence is that it's a warm scent. It is very warm. It is very cold weather. There's patchouli that's not dirty or earthy. Like I said, it's like a little bit more medicinal. A touch of sweetness too. There's a little bit of vanilla. Like when I wear the scent, I get more sweetness. On him, it does come out a lot more like antique-y and woody and like almost leathery. There's labdanum in here that gives it a leather quality. All around, like a very like good quality scent.
Yeah, the lasting scent on your clothes after the next day or something is like perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, another one, if I could pick like a signature scent for myself, is Dior Homme.
Yeah, you wear this one a lot. It is for sure one of your signature scents. This dent, again, all him.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much the one that killed this whole thing. I remember when you first got it and I smelled it, and this was when I was fairly new to this kind of stuff, and the first thing I thought was like, it smells like a cardboard box. Like literally that smell of that cardboard box, and I didn't really get it. I was like, I don't know, it's like just kind of bland, it's like weird. And then something happened and I was completely addicted to it. And I still, to this day, it's like a woody, like cardboard box scent, but in the best way possible. That sounds really awful when you tell people that, but it is. I mean, I could wear this all day. I think it's discontinued now, right?
I think, well, this formulation is, but the current day Dior Homme Intense, get the current day Dior Homme Intense. It's still good. The current Dior Homme formulation is totally different. Doesn't smell like this at all. But Dior Homme Intense still has this powdery iris leather vibe. So
yeah, and I still like that one. It's not quite as good as this one, but if that's the only one that you can get 100%, I still will get that. It's just one of the best scents ever. I mean, I like to wear it at work. It's like, it doesn't feel like you're wearing really a fragrance because it's not your typical fragrance smell, but it has just this aura of like woodiness, I don't know, cardboardy box kind of thing that just like is so good.
Yeah, I think you're describing cardboard box as iris. Iris is like powdery, and the iris isn't exactly sweet, so maybe it comes off a little bit cardboard boxy. Like in some fragrances, it does for sure. It's great. I think it's the perfect like professional scent. Even a little bit sexy.
Yeah, that's where you're gonna help me with the scents, because a lot of times I have no idea what it smells like. I just know what it is. Another newish one that I got introduced to, which I knew absolutely nothing about, was Malle Canadian Gentleman, and I'm pretty sure that again is pretty much just
that's
what
all
I
you.
wore.
That's 100% you.
And the reason why I like this at the very beginning is basically it's like a very fresh, wintry, like pine smell. But we've had other perfumes before that had pine in it, and a lot of times it's like literal pine, and it's getting back to like it's just like I don't want to wear that like a tree on me necessarily. But this is a perfect blend of like a fragrance pine, and it's so light and airy, and it's so good.
It's a little bit sweet. Like the actual note that they put is balsam fir, so it's like the Christmas tree, right? It almost smells like that sticky sap that you can smell on Christmas trees when you go Christmas tree shopping. That smell of the sticky sap on the Christmas trees.
Yeah.
And there's like fresh facets. So when you say like airy fresh, there's lavender, there's rosemary, there's a little bit of lemon in the opening. It's really multifaceted, really well crafted. He deserves so much more hype. Like his fragrances are really unique, really outstanding. This is my favorite by far. Some of them are like a little bit too risque for us. We smell a lot. There's animalics in them and whatever. This one is super safe, even for people that are like not frag heads, I feel.
Yeah, like if you have a like the name is perfect too, like with the whole pine and everything. If maybe you don't want to do that barbershop smell.
Yeah, this doesn't go barbershop vibes.
But you still want something like fresh like that for your guy who's wearing his plaid and all that kind of stuff. Like, do give that one a try. I think it's a very safe bet, and it's just so different from everything that I've been wearing a ton of it, and it's just a very good fragrance.
I think
Bernie, do you like it? Going down the same road with the freshy ones is another one that I've been wearing a ton of, and it is Gypsy Water by Byredo. And it is also the same kind of fresh, airy, like piney, I don't know, juniper-y type of scent. I use this for the gym a lot. I use it for work. You can like overspray the heck out of it.
Yeah.
It is just a very versatile one. I know people complain that it doesn't last too long, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you don't want it to last that long, and for what it does offer, it's perfect. Like, you don't need it on your skin all the time, even for a quick freshen up. That's why for the gym, I think it's perfect. You don't need to completely douse yourself, but it leaves this kind of fresh, airy type of scent to it. Definitely a safe buy. Like, if your man's looking for something like that, give that one a try. There's a lot of good Byredos, but this one's definitely one of my top favorites.
Yeah, there's a nice lemon note in here as well. And I think the incense, it kind of like...
Yes.
It makes it a lot more interesting. There's a little bit of incense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool type of scent. It is kind of watery. And even though it's not very long lasting, I get the trail of it. Like, when he wears it, I can smell his projection, his scent bubble for a while. Like, it's like weird because it's one of those scents that doesn't seem like it lasts very long, but while it lasts, like, people will smell you. I definitely smell it on you. It's very good for the summer. That one's actually super refreshing.
Right, as a 2-in-1, like Blanche as well from Byredo is another one that I'll reach for. This is like the laundry version of this one, but same kind of thing. Doesn't last very long. It's very fresh, very everything. But this would be more of like a piney, woody kind of thing. This is like straight up laundry. But I will use a ton of these in different kind of occasions. Like, these would be my go-to freshies, I guess, if you want to consider it that one.
They're like your gym scents, I feel. Like, Blanche, you put shit on everything. It's like,
I do. It's like Frank's hot sauce. I really do. Like, it's, I don't know. And I didn't used to be into that kind of a scent. I'm like, why would I want to smell like laundry like that? Like, I can just, have clean laundry. But then I kind of like got it.
Yeah, after the gym, it seems to work really well on you.
Sometimes you just don't want to smell like fragrance. Sometimes you just want to smell like fresh laundry. You know what I mean? And that's what it's perfect for. If you really don't want to do the laundry thing, do Gypsy Water. They're both very good. Another staple, I think, in my collection would be Tom Ford Noir Extreme. This is where we start getting into vanilla that I like. And I don't like vanilla, but in this and a couple of other fragrances, it's an example of a vanilla that I like. And a spicy fragrance that I like, without getting too spicy, but just enough to keep you interested. This is so good. I mean, it's just has a very, very, very nice, like, winter cozy blend to it.
Yeah, it has a lot of my favorite spices. It has cardamom, which, like, all women find cardamom really sexy in fragrances, at least in my experience. Nutmeg, it has saffron, it has like almost like Middle Eastern touches, very mysterious, dark, sexy, like, yeah,
probably a little bit more sexy than Oud Wood, but if you want that kind of
there's not more sexy than Oud Wood. They're both like, I think for me, I prefer Oud Wood. Like, I think it's like ultra sexy. This one is also very sexy, but it's a different mood. It's like
a rugged man type of dark winter scent.
But still sweet, a little bit sweet.
Yes, because of the vanilla, but not in a way that you should get scared by it. It's very good. Another example of one that I would consider that cardboard box kind of scent, and of course it's a Dior Bois d'Argent. Again, they're all good. This is probably another one of my favorite from that whole collection. Same kind of idea. It's like a smoky, woody, cardboardy type of scent, which is just a perfect, like, everyday kind of thing. I mean, you can go through this day, night, summer, winter. It works all the time. It's completely unisex too, if you want to do it that way. I don't mind smelling this, even though I have claimed it as my own.
I bought it for myself.
Well, it happens. But yeah, same kind of idea with the other Dior. And it's another example of, like, pick one that's kind of similar but offers something else. It'll keep you interested in that kind of scent profile and kind of get you to explore different areas of it. But like a staple, a complete staple, this one for sure.
I think Dior does iris and powdery fragrances extremely well, because it's also an iris dominant scent, and there's a rich, warm myrrh note in here, and there's honey. So you still get this, like, almost warm, sticky woodiness, but it's the cardboard box thing that he's referring to. It lifts it up and makes it almost like a touch of, like, laundry freshness combined with it. It's very multifaceted, weird, and fascinating, beautiful. Yeah,
it's a very good one. Another interesting one that at the very beginning was a little bit, I wasn't sure about, but that grew on me a lot, was Musc Ravageur. What's the brand?
Frederic Malle.
There you go. So this one, it's a very animalic musk. And that's why at the beginning when you smell it, you're like, I don't know, it's like it could be a little bit kind of stinky, but you have to give it time because a lot of these fragrances will develop over time.
Yes,
right?
they develop hugely. Like, and this one, because it is a musk dominant scent, it really like, it can be fickle depending on even what you've eaten.
Your skin, yeah.
Whether your skin is clean or not. Like, the circumstances really determine how the scent develops.
Exactly. But don't let that scare you because once it settles down, it's just a very nice, manly, musk, vanilla, spicy type of fragrance. You just have to give it time and it will develop. I've worn probably, again, most of this one. Mm-hmm. It's usually a bit better in the winter because you can get risky in the summer if it's a bit too hot outside with most musks, really. But yeah, if you're looking for like again an animalic like man scent.
But it's not too animalic. Like when he says animalic, keep in mind that he hasn't actually smelled like really intense, dirty animalic scents. We don't go down that route too much. So it's just to say that this musky scent isn't this like powdery, clean, fresh, laundry-esque musk. It has like just a little bit of like stank to it. Like
you're
sexy,
not. Yeah,
sexy.
you're not in a farm or anything, but it is worth mentioning. But it's a very good one.
I think it makes it very interesting. The spices, like from a women's perspective, cinnamon, also very intriguing, like sexy spice. And for me, this is like one of the sexiest men's fragrances. So from all of the ones that he's mentioned, this one, Oud Wood, and Bois d'Argent for me are super sexy, as well La Nuit de l'Homme, but like that's from the designer range. Yeah.
What's this one called?
Well, you say it. You're the presenter today.
Guerlain, l'homme idéal de parfum.
Well done.
Yeah, people can comment on my pronunciation. But this one, I am so scared to keep using it because it's getting a bit sketchy to find, right?
It's hard to find for a good price nowadays. Like, I think when we picked it up, oh my god, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, this is an old one.
Maybe $40-$50. Like, you're not going to find it at that price anymore. Not sure if it's discontinued, but anything from the L'Homme Idéal collection is amazing. Like, they're very similar scent profiles on all of them.
Another example of one that at the beginning I wasn't so sure about, but the most, like, I don't know why, but the biggest memory that I have of this, it just makes me like feel so cozy. It's basically like a leathery cherry vanilla type of scent. I remember in the winter when I'm going to work and I had my kind of like sweater cardigan type of thing, and it was around Christmas time, and it's just this like cozy campfire. It had nothing to do with work really, but I had on my thing when I came home. Warm campfire, like cozy leather cherry like kind of scent. It's so good. Definitely for the winter, like you wouldn't be able to do this in the summer at all, but just that like nice cozy manly kind of scent, it's beautiful. It's so good. The last and honorable mention, because apparently it is discontinued and pretty much impossible to find, but I did want to add it because you remember that I've been going through this one and it is almost done. Is that called the tire?
No, it's called Bvlgari Black, but you call it the rubber tire.
Because it literally has a piece of rubber around it. It was the weirdest scent that I've ever smelled when you first got it, and if you ever smell it you'll understand exactly why, because it literally smells like a rubber tire.
Yeah, but it's good.
It is so good. It's a smoky vanilla scent, but really it just smells like a tire, like burnt rubber tire in the best way possible. And I went through a ton of this stuff, pretty much all of that.
Yeah, you really went for it.
And it's so hard to describe why I like it.
Because you like cars, and I guess you like that scent.
Sure, I mean, I don't want to smell burning tires all the time, but man, this is like, anyway, if you can find it used and you have maybe your man's into like cars or doing burnouts or something like that, get it, because it's just, I don't know, it's such a weird scent that I don't think I would ever like that just turned out to be so good. That is an example of like it smells what it looks like. That little rubber thing around it, you're smelling rubber.
You know that most of these you said, oh, at first I wasn't sure about it, then I really love it. Like there wasn't any of them that you were like, I loved it from the beginning. I don't even know.
This one.
Oh yeah, I guess. Oh, even this one you were like, about the very first time you smelled it. But none of them you were immediately like yes about. And I think that happens with fragrances. Is like the most interesting, complex, intriguing scents you may not click with right away, but they grow on you and they like really, you know what
That's
I mean?
happened to me a lot, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but yeah, give things a try.
Yeah.
You're gonna smell them a lot at first and not be sure about it, but I think that's a interesting thing about a fragrance journey. You will go through a bunch of different things, and there was a ton on my shelf that I've loved for many years, and I didn't like pick them for this because it's kind of just like wore off. And maybe a lot of those were fragrances that I did like from the very beginning. Either way, give things a shot. Don't steer away from them if you're not sure, because they can develop to be like some of your most favorite fragrances for years to come.
That's why I always harp at you guys for like, test it on the skin, give it another try, circulate through it, because you could be letting some real gems go. Like if we didn't keep going with these, then they may have never stuck, and these truly are the best. Like for him, they're his favorite. They're the ultimate. And for me too, like the ones that he picked, I wasn't surprised at all by his picks. They're all really outstanding, and none of them are easy. Like none of them are, well, I guess with the exception of La Nuit, that's the easiest one, but
Yeah.
none of them are just like, oh, no problem. Like this is my favorite, Die Hard forever. Like you have to play with it.
I think if you notice one small thing that you like about a fragrance that you're like, that intrigues me, just go through with it and really see it, because that can lead to something else. You can always smell nice, fresh, and kind of, oh yeah, that's, you know what, the Byredos are probably like that. They're pretty
safe. They're pretty safe. Yeah.
They're pretty safe, but everything else, don't be afraid to explore a little bit further. It's going to develop a lot of times.
Yeah. So now you know his top 10.
Yeah, we might update you in the future if anything changes, but this has been like this for quite a bit.
That's it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.